how to conquer that weak inner voice that you have going on inside of your head. Now, we all have that voice to some extent. The main difference though is that the men that do not understand what I'm going to explain in this video, they will forever be a slave. They will be shackled, they will be suppressed, they will be unable to really break through the ceilings and go after the things they truly desire in life because they don't understand these concepts, versus the guys that are on the other side of this thing, right? Because I've been on both sides, but the guys that are on the other side of this thing, they still hear the voice. They just don't live by that thing. It's not shackling them. It's not suppressing them. It's nothing but a thought that comes up in their head. And when you know how to go around that and not listen to it, you can actually rewire your brain. You can reprogram your thoughts and your mindset to really structure your day-to-day for success, man. All right. And again, I've been on both sides. I was a dude who was completely shackled with my business, with my content, with my confidence, with the type of women that I wanted but didn't have in my life, with the image that I had of myself and my physique and my goals. I've been the weak dude who was a slave to those inner bitch voice thoughts. And I've also, over the last 10 to 12 years, destroyed that inner bitch and completely went to the other side of this thing. I'm at a point now where I've built up a multiple 7-figure business. I've hit almost all of the goals that I initially wanted, that the weak bitch voice told me I couldn't do. Like, I actually went through that process and I'm on the other side of it now, and it's really freeing. It's freeing to be the guy that's not shackled, that has really high levels of self-talk, that has true core confidence levels when it comes to these different pillars of your life. And I want that to be you too. So please watch the remainder of this video. I'm going to explain to you guys why you're shackled, what you need to do, and then there's subtleties as you're going through that process that I don't see many people talking about that I also want to reveal in this video as well. So the first thing to understand is that we all have that voice, all right? You need to accept that. The only difference is that the people that are still a slave to that voice, they haven't built up the muscle of the other side. We'll call the other side the inner champion, right? The inner bitch voice is the weak side, the guy that's whining, that's negative, that tells you can't do the thing, that finds a reason to look at the negatives even when you have some type of an accomplishment. Something like, yeah, you just got lucky, or yeah, she wasn't really interested in you, or yeah, that was a one-off thing. You're still this guy, right? Something like that. Everybody's got a slightly different voice that's going on in their head. I'm talking about the negative, weak side of things. That's doubting. It's doubt, fear, concern, anxiety, negativity, hatred, jealousy, all of that BS that you don't really need in your life. You've given a lot of life to that side, and you haven't given much evidence of the other side. And that's why your brain truly believes that the weak bitch voice is actually you. It's not you. Okay, that's the first thing, is that voice is not actually you. You can create separation between the true you, I guess you could call it, versus that inner bitch voice. You've spent so much time identifying with that voice and giving life to that voice that it just kind of is with you in your day-to-day with every move. What I'm going to show you is how you can slowly separate yourself from that and then start to give more life, building the muscle of the inner champion. All right. So how do we separate ourselves? Well, the first thing is to just bring awareness to it. The moment that you hear that doubt, that negativity, that BS thought kick in, catch it. Literally catch it in real time. Do not be like, oh, that's me. Sit there and be the observer of that thought. Think to yourself, that's interesting that the inner bitch voice just said this. That's interesting, right? That doesn't mean that that's me. Just catch the thought and observe it for a second. Now I want you to create more separation from it by making that voice a whiny, higher pitched voice. Just catch it for a second and just be like, oh, that was that inner bitch. But I'm not going to give life to that. I'm going to crank that voice up into a whiny little bitch voice, right? You can actually do that as a drill. The very first time you do it, it's going to be weird because you've probably given so much life to it. So as you do this more and more consistently, it will start to create more separation from you and that thought that you've given so much life to. So we're going to start to create that separation. Now, what do we need to do? We need to now proactively build the other voice, the other side of this, the inner champion. And we're going to build that like a muscle. You're not going to watch this video and then the muscle is jacked. I'm going to show you the exercises to create the separation and the exercises to build the muscle up of the inner champion. And this is exactly what I've done. I've just done it over a very long time. So I have a very strong muscle. And you guys it's metaphorically like a very weak pipsqueak dude going into the gym. And I'm like, this is the exercise you can do to get jacked. And then you try to do it one day and you're like, this doesn't work, I'm not jacked. No, that does work. With consistency, going to the gym and working out this muscle, you're gonna have a very strong muscle. That muscle is your self-talk. That's your inner champion. And when you make that strong, your core belief system becomes limitless. Your potential in life becomes limitless. The ideal version of yourself that you truly believe you can become is 10x what the weak bitch voice that you've been giving all of this life to your entire duration of life, that no longer will be shackling you. All right, so we create the separation. Now, how do we actually inject the other side? Well, you need to be able to go out and take action, right? You can't just hype yourself up and think very highly of yourself when you haven't actually accomplished shit. Now, the thing is, we set the bar so high for ourselves, and when the bar is very high and we don't actually accomplish that whole thing, like even if we set the bar this high and we accomplish something like here, well, we're just looking at how much of a shortcoming did we have, and then our negative voice starts pointing out this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, not realizing we actually just accomplished all of this, right? So I've seen a lot of men in the last 7 years that I've actually coached struggle with this when it comes to social skills and dating and confidence, right? And if you actually want to get better with those things and you want to fast track that, you could click the link down below to apply to actually work with me directly to accomplish those things. But one of the biggest things I've seen in guys is I set them up with some easy steps, right? Like instead of trying to aim super high, I'll set them up with some easy steps for the first week of what they should be going out to try to do, like a very simple workout that you could hit consistently. They start to go through that workout and they're so programmed to focusing on the negative that even though they coming into the program, they were down here, and now a couple days in or a couple weeks in, they're actually here, they're still hyper focused on this deficit of, yeah, but I'm not here. And that's because of this. The moment you start to see those things, you got to separate yourself and be like, yo, that is the negative voice kicking in again. All right, this will happen consistently throughout your day-to-day. You're going to need to keep bringing focus back to what did I actually accomplish? So setting up realistic goals for the week, goals that you can actually accomplish. You don't set the bar so fucking high and then you come up short and you only do 50 or 80% of it, because then you're leaving all of this room for negativity still and you haven't built up the inner champion muscle yet. All right, so you create the separation. We set realistic, easy goals. The same way a very weak dude who went into the gym, I would start him out with curling 10-pound dumbbells. And that's okay. You're not gonna be stuck at 10-pound dumbbells for forever. A lot of guys are hyper fixated on, I'm gonna be in the gym curling 10 pounds and everybody's gonna be looking at me and it looks stupid and I'm not jacked. We're gonna get there with consistency, man. So you go into the gym, we start doing a beginner workout consistently. That's what's going to break down the muscle. If you have a weak inner champion muscle to get started, you can't just go in and bench 315. And that's okay. We will get there, man. We will get there. This is the path to get you out of this shackling lifestyle. So if it's social confidence, you need to start with the first couple small steps and do that daily. If it's putting out content and business and branding, you just start with the first couple of steps, right? If it's diet and fitness, you just start with the first couple of steps. Now, here's the key though, is that every time you do that step, even though it's only here, this is where the bar is. The bar's not up here right now, man. We're gonna get there, but you do the first couple of steps on a daily basis. And every time you take the action, you need to inject the positive self-talk. We forget this process. I've taught this concept before to so many people. You might have even seen previous videos on this, but you'll still get lost in your day-to-day, in your week, in your month, and you'll forget that you need to do this daily, and that's okay. This is a reminder. For my OGs, this is a reminder. You're still not doing it enough. You need to keep doing this on a daily basis, just like you need to work out on a daily basis. Now, in a minute, I want to show you guys what to do once you've actually built the muscle up, because there's a maintenance to it, right? But understand, with the consistency, You go in and you inject the positive self-talk after completing the action. At the end of the day or immediately upon completing that action, even if it's a small step, you got to congratulate yourself, bro. That's how you build up the inner champion. You build up the inner champion because on a daily basis, you're putting money into a piggy bank, which is you congratulating yourself on that action. You're building up a relationship that you have with yourself. Your inner bitch voice is the negative relationship that you've built up with yourself. Your inner champion is the positive relationship that you've built up with yourself. But that is only built by, on a daily basis, taking small steps of action and congratulating yourself for it. The first week of you doing this, pay attention. The moment you try to do it, the weak voice, the inner bitch voice is so strong, it's still going to step in. If I was like, yeah, man, I did it. Your bitch voice is gonna be like, yeah, that's all you did? Yeah, but you're not here. Pay attention to that, man. You need to consistently be aware of that and bring yourself back to, it's okay, this was the goal. So maybe you even write this down in your morning reflection. You write down, hey, I'm gonna do this action today. I know it's just a small step. I'm just getting started. I'm committing to doing this action every day for the next 21 days. Regardless of how I feel, regardless of the reactions of the world, this is the goal. And then every time you take that action, you need to give yourself that pat on the back, that verbal praise. And it will feel good over time. At first, you feel weird and you feel lame for doing it. Over time, man, bro, I get myself into such a crazy state when I do it because it has a compounding effect. That's how you will really develop a strong inner champion, is that months and years will go by of you telling yourself you're going to take a specific action and you do that action. The goal, though, is consistency and setting realistic small steps that you could do on a daily basis. The moment you try to shoot for the stars and you can't go all the way there and you come up short, you're hyper fixated on your shortcoming. Set some easy action-based goals that you could do on a daily basis and start going after those things. Write them down, acknowledge the wins, and inject that positive self-talk, man. You gotta build up that relationship with yourself, right? Now, here's the thing. Once you've built that up, it doesn't stop. Yes, I am genuinely, and I can honestly say this, you put me on the lie detector, I am confident and proud of the man I've become because I have put in work over an extended period of time, uncomfortable actions, accomplished goals that I initially wanted to when I was 10 years ago. I've checked off a lot of those check boxes. Not just the end results, I'm talking about the work that I put in along the way, right? And hitting those goals on a daily basis built up the self-talk. And now it's at a point where I genuinely believe whatever I want to accomplish in life, I have the mental fortitude, the resilience, the confidence that I could go after whatever that goal is, and I will accomplish the goal, right? And so much so to the point where there isn't much negative self-talk coming in now because over time, I've built up so much evidence supporting the inner champion. Now, here's the thing. If I stop doing this though, and I just think, okay, well, I've made it now, over time, I'll start to feel shitty again because it's not about the past accomplishments. Yes, you need to build it up over time to really create that champion, but it's not just about what you did in the past. This is an ongoing thing, just like any other muscle. If you get jacked and you stop going to the gym, you're not going to be jacked anymore. But the thing is that once you're actually jacked, working out is pretty fun, right? Because you've done it for so long, you're actually confident in those fields, and you built something that you're proud of. So you're actually excited to go into the gym. I'm always excited now to go into the gym because I've put in the work consistently to build up that physique. And I want to get even bigger. I'm never going to stop. That's a lifelong thing. And that's what self-development and self-love is, right? This is not a high-pressured situation where you gotta beat yourself down verbally. I'm talking about actually building true self-love through consistent action, realistic action that you could accomplish on a day-to-day basis, man, and then rewarding yourself for that. All we do is hyperfixate on the negative. We never create that separation and focus on what's the action we gotta do, and then inject that positive self-talk on a daily basis, man. When you do that day after day after day, you're gonna feel so fucking good over time. That's how you can actually conquer your inner bitch voice and really accomplish the goals that you want in life. If you want to work with me directly to accomplish more social confidence, more abundant dating life, master your discipline, your self-talk, your mindset, and just accomplish things that you know deep down that you're capable of doing, click the link down below. Check out the brand new coaching programs for 2025. I'd love to help you make a transformation. That's all for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.